Good, go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Well, this meeting of order. Well, one of the first things I'd like to recognize is longtime auditor Barbara Purse passed away, and like he was a terrific individual, led the auditor's office for years and years. So just remember Barbara and her family today. Lindy Jackson was from Hunters Run Conservancy District, was to be here now. He's not. So we're going to go and do proclamations.
So before we do that, I think we should fill the time for a minute by wishing our beloved Commissioner Levacy a happy birthday. Now, Dave just threatened me that if I start singing happy birthday, that there would be payback. But if someone else wanted to start singing happy birthday, I'm sure we'd all join in. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dave. Happy birthday to you. Oh, look at that.
So I texted Lonnie and I said I may not be here today, and I wish I'd turn on.
So Lindy says he'll be here in 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
So we're going to go ahead and do
We can introduce Xavier.
Xavier. How are you?
Pretty good.
You're new with our IT department, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. Before this, my last role was with Modern Office Methods. And I worked as a hybrid technician there, so I did a little bit of like installation of devices when they would go in. Not so much the big stuff. And before that, I was at Abercrombie and Fitch on their service desk.
Welcome to the team.
Anything to add, Jimmy?
I mean, day 2, and he's already been looking at stuff with Gene, and Gene's already going 90 miles an hour, so it shouldn't take him long. Yeah, we're excited.
Well, thank you. I know he's got orientation to get to, so thanks for popping in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I'm just giving you guys a head start.
Okay, birthday. All right, first one. We're going to set up together. You can set up the leads. I think we would next to you right back with the Brett Markwood First Responder Award winner. Fairfield County. Come on. And I know secondhand to my mother's been a good job in the community, working with a lot of different groups and education programs and things like that. So maybe you can think about why you won this. I told you that.
I did.
So Chuck and I were together the other day on video, so I've heard all this already. So she has prepared.
So I work for the community response unit for Sheriff Alex Lake. We are his public relations. So I go out and I teach our citizens of Fairfield County self-defense, senior scams. We do fairs, festivals, parades. So anything that you guys would imagine as PR work for the Sheriff's Office, you'll probably see my face. If you go on Facebook, Sheriff's Office Facebook, you'll probably see my face a lot. So it's kind of what I do. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Alright, we have a proclamation recognizing May as Military Awareness Month. Other folks in the house.
Lots of others that are long.
Sorry.
With them.
Anything that needs to come up? Appreciate it. Come on, Brian.
Hi, I'm the Navy man.
Whereas it's the positive responsibility of the Fairfield County Board of Commissioners to recognize people and organizations of outstanding achievement and significance in freedom, security, and preserved liberties that citizens of the United States enjoy today are direct results of the bloodshed and continued vigilance of the Air Force, the Navy, and all United States Armed Forces and the United States Congress. In 2004, resolution proclaiming May as National Military Appreciation Month, calling all Americans to remember those who gave their lives in defense of freedom and to honor the men and women of all of our armed services who have served and are now serving our country, together with their families. And in the month of May, we also celebrate Victory in Europe Day, Military Spouse Appreciation Day, Loyalty Day, Forces Week, and Memorial Day. Now, therefore, the Fairfield County Board of Commissioners does hereby formally declare May 2024 to be Military Awareness Month throughout Fairfield County and encourages all citizens to join the board in showing our gratitude for past and present military personnel. Dave, I'm going to turn this over to you. It's my favorite.
So, you know what's interesting? It may not be interesting to anybody, but it is to me. I was born the day before he did with Germany, 1945. And the official day is actually May 8th. That's only because the Russians wanted something different, but the Germans actually surrendered on May 7th. Or sheriff, sheriff, May 8th. Thank you. And thank you to all the veterans. Very much.
Fine, thank you for your service. Thanks, sir. Anatova, you can go ahead. County is a growing number of older Americans who enrich our community through their diverse life experiences and engagement with all generations. And Meals on Wheels of Fairfield County is committed to strengthening our community by connecting with, supporting older adults, their families, caregivers, and acknowledging their many valuable contributions to society. Meals on Wheels older adult alternatives of Fairfield County can enhance lives of older Americans in our community by promoting home and community-based services and supporting independent living, involving older adults in community events and other activities, providing opportunities for older adults to work, volunteer, learn, lead, mentor. Now, therefore, the Fairfield County Board of Commissioners do hereby formally proclaim May 2024 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to take time during this month to recognize older adults and the people who serve them as essential and valuable members of our community. Being here for you. Stop chatting on in person.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the making of proclamation, recognizing the contributions that older adults make to our community and continue to make, and always support.
Thanks. Parks Fields, Junior Gang. Proclamation to recognize May is Mental Health Month. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives as mental health conditions are real, prevalent in our nation. And prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions. And with effective treatment and tools, individuals with mental health and other chronic health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen share the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to support prevention efforts and to promote mental wellness. Therefore, the Fairfield County Commissioners do hereby proclaim May 2024 as Mental Health Month. Fairfield County Board of Commissioners calls upon citizens, businesses, schools, and public and private institutions in Fairfield County to be committed to increase awareness and understanding of mental health, protecting mental health, and providing appropriate, accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, commissioners, and really all of our county infrastructure. Your support has really helped us through the support of our agencies, the wonderful work they do. We have 14 provider agencies out there, and without the wonderful support of the county, we wouldn't be able to do it. We wouldn't be able to keep up on our mission and our work and our raising hope and growing a healthier community. You'll hear that a lot in the near future, but our awareness event, our May's Mental Health event is May 21st, so we hope you will join us for the dinner, and we raise awareness and thank everyone for your support of mental health and Fairfield County.
Excellent. The minutes. Proclamation recognizing May 19th to the 25th as National Travel and Tourism Week. For the purpose of National Tourism Week is to celebrate the contributions and accomplishments of the U.S. travel community. And the annual tradition brings industry professionals together to highlight the value of travel and consider the broad impact it holds for communities across the country. And members of the community are coming together to support travel and tourism in Fairfield County. Now, therefore, the Fairfield County Board of Commissioners does formally declare its respect for and recognition of May 19th to the 25th, National Travel and Tourism Week. We call upon everyone in Fairfield County to observe this month with programs and activities that increase awareness and support travel and tourism in Fairfield County.
Thank you for the commissioners for their continued support of allowing us to promote the entire county, Pickerington, Lancaster, and Buckeye Lake as a great destination. When you all have friends and family coming this summer, don't take them to Amish country, stay here in Fairfield County and see what you have to do. We also have our new destination guides over on the table. I'd like you to take one home with you or stop by our office. We're right on Broad Street across from L City. We'd love to help you out and help you figure out what to do with your family this summer.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Chair, Tiffany, if you could join us again, please. To the proclamation recognizing Peace Officers Memorial Day 2024. Prior to 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week in which May 15th falls is National Police Week. Established by a joint resolution of Congress in 1962, National Police Week pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers who lost their lives in the line of duty, the safety and protection of others. And our public safety officers work tirelessly to protect our citizens, enforce our laws, and keep our neighborhoods safe. And every day, police officers face the threat of violence and danger. They routinely put their lives on the line to defend ours. And the price of that bravery may result in injury, disability, or death. And the 2024 observance of Peace Officers Memorial Day help honor our law enforcement officers for their extraordinary service and sacrifice as we remember the fallen heroes whose selfless acts have left behind safer streets and starving communities. Now, therefore, the Fairfield County Board of Commissioners does hereby formally declare Monday, May 15, 2024, the Peace Officers Memorial Day. We call upon every citizen throughout Fairfield County to recognize the invaluable contributions of peace officers to uphold justice, enforce the rule of law, and protect against.
Well, that's what Tiffany told me as we were walking up here. I had confidence. We all know how that, so I'll keep it short. We appreciate the support of Fairfield County citizens. We appreciate the support of Fairfield County government, Commissioner's office. those two things make our jobs a lot easier. I appreciate the effort and willingness of the men and women in the sheriff's office to go out and serve our community. That's their focus and it's very powerful. Thank you.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3.
Go on, Corey. And Krista.
Oh, wait, there's more.
And anyone, yeah, come on, all you guys, come on. This is a proclamation recognizing May Public Assistance Fraud Awareness Month. Whereas preventing and deterring public assistance fraud is a responsible effort, bringing awareness to how fraud haunts all of us in the community. In 2023, the Audit County Search received 130,000 plus in fraud incentives and investigated 684 fraud referrals, with more than $481,000 collected. The Clouders, Job and Family Services, and the County Prosecutor's Office led a successful prosecution of 8 public assistance fraud cases, resulting in 155,000 plus in court ordered restitution. Now therefore, the Fairfield County Board of Commissioners does hereby formally declare May 2024 to be Public Assistance Fraud Awareness Month throughout Fairfield County. We urge residents to report suspected public assistance fraud by calling Fairfield County Job and Family Services at the fraud hotline. Thank you all very much.
A special shout out to the prosecutor's office of both, or you can name it, I don't know if you want to join in on the photo op here, you're good.
I just want to say thank you to the Board of Commissioners for this recognition. We actually are going to be getting an update here in a couple of weeks on the lesson and learns on fraud efforts over the last year, but I also wanted to introduce Heather Shields, our supervisor in the fraud team. Want to introduce the rest of your team?
Certainly. This is Alice Shea. She's one of our investigators. Stephanie Kirsten is also an investigator, and Becca Malcolm.
I got you all. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Okay, all right. We're on the spotlight today. Sarah, Dave, and Rick Olstein. All right. So our proclamation recognizing the Foster Care and Adoption Recognition and Recruitment Fund. Further, the Children's Bureau has identified May as National Foster Care Month with the theme Engaging Youth Building Supports. And there were 7,028 foster homes in Ohio in February 2024. 26 of those homes licensed by the Fairfield County Protective Service. And there are more than 390,000 youth in foster care across the United States, including 62 children in custody of Fairfield County, with 105 more youth placed in kinship homes. And foster homes in Fairfield County allow for children to remain in their communities, connected to schools, services, and relatives. Now therefore, the Fairfield County Board of Commissioners does hereby formally declare May to be Foster Care and Adoption Recognition and Recruitment Month throughout Fairfield County. We urge all residents to recognize and thank foster parents, kinship care providers, and adoptive parents. For today, Edwin, our permanency manager here.
We just want to thank the commissioners as always for their support of our foster parents and our community. We continue our recruitment efforts, and they're such a valuable resource for us. And we really couldn't do the work that we do without the work.
Two, 3. 2, 3.
And that's it.
That's all. All right.
Cindy Jackson, are you in the room? I know we're gonna dock your pay.
Well, I'm late now, right?
He's just on Rick Xavier.
You just want to know if I was here, or do you want me to come up?
Come on up.
Come on down.
When I say dock is paid, it doesn't get paid.
Get much to start with.
So anyway, we have,
Ladies and gentlemen, Lindy Jackson, who's in charge of our Hunters Run Conservancy District. He's got here to give us an assessment update.
Thank you. Yep, this all started 5 years ago when I was appointed to the board. And one of the major roles that I had was to get this reassessment done. I actually we did get it completed and published on April 19th. And coincidentally, that was the date I actually was appointed 5 years ago to fill an unexpired term. So it just happened that way. So a lot of you don't know a lot about Hunters Run. A lot of people wouldn't county that know. But it was formed in 52 and built the dams all around the Upper Hocking watershed and Hunters Run. And in 1958, they finished the dams in 61, but in 58, they instituted a reappraisal of benefits, and they determined how much the people that were in the inundation area would pay to maintain these dams. And they only looked at the people that were flooded in the 1948 flood. They based it on the height of the water within the homes. So here it is, 2024, and there's never been a reappraisal of benefits done. There've been an attempt to add some properties as we went along, but right now we're operating off of $195,000, and it's put a rather large impact on those in the inundation zone. So to do this study, we needed money, and we're spending most of our money every year on trying to get caught up on deferred maintenance, and we also started saving some money. And COVID came along, and the ARP funding became available, and I first want to thank the commissioners for allowing us to participate in that plan, and we were able to, with about $140,000, we were able to get this assessment completed. And the assessment is complicated. It requires an economist to take a look at the economic benefit for the watershed area. Ohio Revised Code talks about people in a watershed. So if you think of whole water running down, so there's about 13,200 some parcels, but there's some parcels here, not, some of them were road right of way that actually had parcels on them. Some of them were small defunct cemeteries that weren't necessarily being taken care of by the township. So the end result was 13,119 parcels that were assessed. And the benefit, the economic benefit analysis, identified $1,639,000 in net present value for annual benefits. So any project that the Army Corps does, or NRCS, Natural Resources Conservation Service does, has to have at least a 1-to-1 benefit to cost ratio. So we were looking for around $700,000, and which is, a lot less than a 1-to-1. It's a lot better. So out of that $1.6 million, $934,000 was related to the indirect benefits. And indirect benefits are a very hard thing to explain. And from the meetings we've had so far, it's hard for folks to grasp. But everyone in the watershed area does receive some benefit, even if they don't flood. It could be if there was a flood and roads were washed out as they were back in 1948, bridges were out. Emergency services may not be able to get to you even if you do live on the hill. So, and there's the economic benefit to the entire community by not having any flooding. And the next argument I get is well, I've been here 50 years and I've never flooded. Well, the dams are in place. So the other part of the process is the engineering side, and they did a H&H study, and they modeled what it would be like if the dams didn't exist. And then they put together a map that shows that inundation area. And it's much larger than the 1948 flood, of course. So we're going to be collecting more direct benefits, those that could flood. Plaza Shopping Center, Hocking Valley Mall. The mall itself was out of it. It was built high enough. The Target Center was built high enough. But there's still a lot of businesses that have been in the inundation zone since the beginning, and were never assessed. So we had our first meeting last night, open house meeting, and it was pretty well attended. There was 125 people or so there. We spent an hour and a half explaining to everybody that you know, what the indirect benefit is, and there's a lot of people that understand it. The biggest problem with this is it's an assessment, and the Ohio Revised Code provides for 3 board of directors. They report to common police court judge, Judge Trimmer, who we report to, Judge Barron's as Brush Street. So it's an assessment. You do the economic benefit, you justify it, and then it goes to a court hearing and is approved by the judge. So a lot of folks don't like the taxation without representation issue, that there's only one voted elected person that's over this whole thing. So that's a big principle to a lot of people, and we hear that a lot as well. Nice if there was a better way to fund these, but that's the way it was developed. So that's where we are. So we got through the assessment. I want to thank John Coaches and Garrett. They were there to help answer questions last night. And I was on my feet for about an hour and a half dealing with everybody, and had a line waiting for me. But everybody else was taking care of business. It was really positive, really positive. You're not going to change their mind. You're not going to change them. So that's where we're at. Wouldn't be here if it wouldn't be for commissioners and supporting us all the way through. They supported us when I first got in. We had some catching up to do, and of course Carrie Brown, I can't miss Carrie, because Carrie, she's been a great supporter all the way along. When I get stuck on something and I call and ask her a question, and it might be at 8:30 at night, and of course she answered at 8:30. I don't necessarily call her at 8:30, but so yes, you guys have all been a great help to us. I appreciate it. So thank you.
So 2 things. First, I don't know that everybody knows what the inundation area is. Basically, as I understand it, without those 21 dams, Lancaster would flood pretty often. Is that?
The only problem is we don't know how, because there's not been any records kept. You know, you need, but you're right. If the dams weren't there would be regular flooding of some sort down
And it's
through
the city of Lancaster.
It is where it all ends up at. Yeah. The district is basically defined as from Sensi Park down where Hunter's Run joins the Hocking River. Then the Reese Hubert area is also a part of that, because that's a direct downstream beneficiary. And one other quick thing about that is, you know, you got a flood where the water comes down and leaves the banks of the river, but you've also got all your storm water and all your surface water that's coming in. Sometimes the river gets up high enough. A good example is where Kroger used to be. That's not a flood from the river coming in, but the water can't get out. So because the water level gets higher than the drains are. So yes, there's going to be localized flooding of that sort. Can't prevent that. City's done a good job of preventing it down in Reese Hubert, because they got the big pumps in now and they pump the water out of that area. But
Second thing is, I just want to say thank you. I know this isn't what you signed up for 5 years ago, but you've done an incredible job of taking on a leadership role there and kind of shepherding this process all the way through. I know it's been a ton of work, and just really a great thank you to you for your leadership.
thank you. It's
Also, a few years back, when you alluded to some catching up to do, I think, John, I think there was a broad crew that actually came together to do a lot of maintenance that was much needed at the time. John or Lindy, maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
I would say for this current board and Lindy in primary, that the state of the Conservancy was rough. We were responding to 3 dams in 1 year. Our dive team was going in and clearing out structures because they were so bad. And not to the fault of the previous folks. I mean, they had a very limited budget, but it needed a lot of catching up to maintain the safety of the system.
And that was part of it, the limited budget just wasn't enough to keep up the maintenance that was necessary.
That, and I think previous board, it's difficult to get people to be on this board to start with. And I think, you know, the former president, he had health issues, so he had been in a rehab facility for a while. And then another director retired, and they just weren't able to find people to fill those roles. So in his last, I'd say the last 5 years, prior 5 years, in the last 10 years, there wasn't much supervision for the 2 part-time employees. And so we're down, we just have 1 part-time employee. I'll just say this, he's reliable, honest, does a good job. I won't say much about the other one. but so yeah, that was the first part. We had to get those folks trained, or that person trained to understand it's important to go out and check those dams before rain events, go out there afterwards. There's a lot of tree and wood that comes down into dam number 9. It's the biggest dam, and I mean, it's a mess every time there's high water. That water will raise about 12 to 14 feet, holding back the river. We do have a stream gauge now down at Columbus Street, South Columbus, so we can compare the height of the river down there with what's going on up at dam 9. And on April 2nd, that stream gauge went straight up from 5 feet to about 12.5 feet. And the next morning at 10 a.m., the dam height was about 12 feet above its normal level, and the river had gone back down to 8. But what we don't know is the volume of water that's behind that dam at that time. If it had come on down here at midnight, what would have happened? That's what we're going to use some of the money that we get from this appraisal is to do some more studies to determine when flooding could have occurred. I mean, that's an important part. Nobody knows because they've been out there quietly working since 1960 and 61.
Mr. Davis.
Not really. I think before you got here, we had the opportunity to celebrate Fairfield County's own Warren Buffett here. It's his birthday. And I didn't know if you wanted to sing or
Sing? Yes.
Say happy birthday, or I just didn't want you to miss that opportunity.
I think I'll pass. I'll watch it on video. How about
I
that?
appreciate you.
So speaking of videos, we do have a video.
You do?
That's on the website. We were gonna-
Oh, you're going to show that? You have to listen to me some more? Okay. It's fine.
We have to highlight, John.
I actually disagree with this as well.
Yeah, that's right. This is really cool. It's gonna work.
The video works.
I know, what happened? It's neat.
The Hunters Run Conservancy District was a mandate of the people. There was a demand that it would never happen again. And it was the major flood of 1948, often referred to as the fierce flood of 48 that disrupted the lives of Fairfield County and Lancaster residents. But they decided that they were going to take action and let it never happen again. On the night of July 21st, 1948, a cloudburst storm event occurred on the west side of Lancaster, and portions of the Upper Hocking watershed were also influenced, and the water and mud invaded the homes while people slept. The community was cut off in every way. Phones were down, multiple US-22 bridges washed away. Small culverts and covered bridges in the west end of the watershed were washed away. Some areas went without bridges for over 13 years following the storm. The railroads were washed out, cutting off industry and jobs, while the floodwaters floated and inundated cars all over the west side of Lancaster. The night that topsoil flowed into Ollie Smith's living room on Lancaster's west side, he and others went to work developing a comprehensive plan and gathering signatures to make it happen. This Citizens Committee, the City of Lancaster, and the farmers got together with the 5-year-old Soil and Water Conservation District and petitioned for the creation of the Hunters Run Conservancy District.
Conservancy districts are governed under the Ohio Revised Code 6101. 6101 was created in 1914 in response to the Great Flood of 1913 in the Miami River Valley. Conservancy districts are governed by a common pleas court judge in the county where the district is located. Once the conservancy was formed, the community came together to find relief from the repeated flooding.
From across the entire watershed, farm families signed on to support conservation and flood control concepts for the entire Upper Hocking watershed. Those efforts to improve farming practices within the watershed reached halfway to Baltimore, near Carroll, halfway to Lithopolis, and around to Delmont, covering portions of 4 townships. Over a period of about 7 years, this pilot project for the United States was implemented from conservation farming to major flood retarding dams. We were in the spotlight nationally.
Construction of the dams was completed by 1961. Today, there are 2,353 properties paying a special assessment on their tax bill for the operation and maintenance of the dams. Lancaster has grown significantly since the 50s. Hundreds of homes and commercial establishments have been constructed, with many of those being built in the Upper Hocking River and Hunters Run floodplains.
When we look at transportation impacts in preserving the bridges of US 22 over Hunters Run today, we could see over 15,000 vehicles per day cut off or redirected in catastrophic floods. Impacts could be found at just about every primary and secondary traffic route in the watershed. This could force closures and reroutes or cut off first responders and mutual aid in a disaster.
Dams provide essential flood management infrastructure, helping regulate river flow and minimizing the risk of flooding in downstream areas. Through controlled water release and reservoir storage, dams mitigate the impacts of extreme weather events, protecting lives, property, and critical infrastructure.
The Ohio Department of Natural Resources developed dam safety standards after these dams were built that the Hunters Run Conservancy District must abide by.
After 64 years, additional funding is needed for increased maintenance that will extend the life of the system. In addition, modifications are being planned for several of the primary flood control dams to meet current dam safety regulations. All property owners within the district will receive mail notification of the proposed assessment at or near the time of filing with the court.
So the new assessment is dependent upon the court's approval, and once that's approved, it'll be on the first half tax bills in January. For Hunters Run Conservancy District, you'll see the words Hunters Run there.
With the Hunters Run Conservancy District in the lead and the supporting local sponsorship of the Fairfield Soil and Water Conservation District, preliminary work has begun to try to tap into federal funds, if available, from the USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service, just as we did in the 1950s.
There will be an opportunity for residents to file exceptions to the court and be heard. More information about this process can be found on the Hunters Run website at huntersruncd.org.
We have to thank Bob Campetti for his expert editing this. I mean, we just sat there in front of a green screen and talked, and he put it all together. Really good production. And the website, another thing I did, we didn't have a website, we didn't have a phone number, we didn't have an email address. So we are acting like a real agency now. We've got all that. And a little hard keeping up with phone calls recently, but I'm trying. So that's.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Lyndon.
Thank you.
Everything you do.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we've reached the portion of our meeting where we allow public comment. If you wish to do so, please approach the podium and give your name and address, and you are limited to 3 minutes.
Good morning. It's the first time I've been back here.
for a couple of months. It has been the toughest time of my life. Losing your spouse of 63 years and knowing her for 66, my life has changed. But I do want to say one thing. I like the support that I receive from the people in this room and the encouragement. Without that, life would be even tougher. But the best part of it is, I know where Judy is today. He's with her Lord and Savior in heaven. And we know tougher times are coming for this nation. We talked before she passed away and on to the heaven. She said, Ray, tell the people that we are in a war, not man to man, but we're in a war against spiritual good and bad, evil and good. This is a war that can be won only by God and Jesus. The people turning back to what our Constitution is. Constitution put together from the scripture of the Bible and put together to raise a nation that's above any nation in the earth in the past. But it's in serious conditions right now. We have the enemy of our enemy that is now our total enemy. I'm talking about the Islamics, the communism, and all the organizations that are not put together under the action of our Lord and Savior God. We can win this, but only with the help of God. Man cannot conquer this force that's against us right now without God. And I would like to close with a short prayer. I do want to read one that Judy wrote on the 12th month, the 31st day of 88. This was her prayer at that time. It's been our prayer since. Father, as I sit here and humbly pray, there's a silent night that is breaking away, and we shall soon again have another day. A day that comes filled with opportunity to allow others to see your work in me. So they also might desire to lean on thee. Just guide me, direct me in all that I do, in order that others will come to know you. So your will and your way have come to pursue. Lord, we have so much. We have to depend upon you. Help us gain strength and humbly come before you in your name, asking for your help and following the path that you want us to take. Lord, it won't be easy because Jesus said, those that follow me will have trouble, but you do have the end in sight, the hope that the Lord will see us through. Amen.
Thank you, Ray, and please accept our condolences. Would like to be next.
Thank you.
Good morning, Sherry Pimer, 3464 South Bank Road, Walnut Township. I know on May 21st, we have our hearing for the resolution concerning the 13 townships being declared as exclusionary zones for large-scale solar. I hope that, and I know the map that's out there includes the entire county except for the incorporated areas. However, there are some things that are out there that are contradictory, that are being sent to at least one township that we know of, that contradicts this. So I don't know, and it's from the county. So I'm not sure what is really happening, but I think we need to be very careful that accurate information is getting out there. And I hope that May 21st brings a resolution to fruition in declaring the 13 townships as exclusionary zones. Thank you.
Like to be next, please. Well, thank you all for coming. Thing on legal. Honey, you're up.
All right. The leadership conference that we hold annually will be at the Liberty Center next Tuesday, May 14th from 8 a.m. to noon. Appreciation to Jeff Porter and his HR team for organizing the events of that day. Elected officials, department heads, and anyone in a leadership role encouraged to attend. Due to that, the commissioners meeting will be at 1 p.m. next Tuesday in the afternoon at the Liberty Center as well. I want to take a moment and recognize the foster parent banquet that took place this past weekend. Thanks to CPS and the team that put that on. I think we have a few pictures to share, but this is an annual event that the staff puts together to make sure to highlight, thank, and appreciate the foster parents that we do have. And some have been serving in this role for quite some time. Sarah, Dave, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I just said it's a chance once a year for us to kind of get some of our peoples together, get a chance to acknowledge their hard work. Just an opportunity for us to get back to them and thank them for all they do.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Leah, and thank you, Sarah, for that. All right, highlights of resolutions. The review packet does contain a list of administrative approvals, and we have 23 resolutions on the agenda for voting today. A few of note that we'll point out. There will be the resolution authorizing the approval proclamations. And thanks to everybody for coming out and receiving those earlier. We also have a resolution to appropriate funds for a grant match for a grant from the Ohio Airport Grant Program, Ohio Department of Transportation. Resolution to approve and adopt the Fairfield County Road Design Manual for unincorporated areas of the county. As you recall, we did have the hearing for this on April 23rd. Also have a resolution from the engineer's office to approve an agreement with Terracon Consultants for construction, inspection, and testing services. And lastly, a resolution to approve a bid award to the Spires Paving Company for the CDBG Village of Pleasantville Hickenlooper Street Improvement Project. Josh, anything on that?
We're actually gonna hold off on that until next week.
Okay.
Most likely, we have to meet with Spires.
Okay, so we're pulling that one then?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, very good. And Jason, anything on the engineer's resolutions you want to add there?
We've got quite a few today. So the design manual we've already gone through. The refugee road is just an increased change order for some changes that were made on the traffic light projects that we're doing up there. So moving some posts around, some poles around, and some electrical work. Just a change order for that. The other stuff is pretty minor.
And then the engineer up did share that there's a road closure on Stemen up by Pickerington Road that's probably going to last a little longer than you had originally anticipated.
Yeah, one of the box beams that we got into on that bridge, right there by one of Tony's planes. One of the box beams needed a little bit more work than we had anticipated. So once we got into that and got down into the beam, we need to do a little bit more reconstruction on it. So it has taken a little bit. One other minor item note that is scheduled for next week getting ready to say that. We moved to May 21st at 1 o'clock, so that we're not in conjunction with the.
And thank you to you and Jeremiah for rearranging that. That was helpful. Appreciate it. Bart, no budget update today, correct? Thank you. Rochelle, calendar review and invitations received, please.
Thank you. The Light Ohio Blues ceremony will be May 8th at 5:30 at the Free Church. The Lancaster Fairfield Chamber Awards and Annual Trade Show will be May 9th at 4:30 p.m. at Fisher Catholic High School. And the Governor's Holocaust Commemoration is May 8th, 2 p.m. at the State House Atrium. On correspondence, we received a zoning letter from Violet Township on a variance application for 13052 All Road in Pickerington. We received correspondence regarding industrial solar projects. We received a memo from Dr. Carrie Brown regarding the Finder reference tool, internal control manual, and GIS projects. The Fairfield County Auditor's Map of the Month was also received, and the Auditor's Wins of the Week. We received another memo from Dr. Carrie Brown regarding the Financial Leadership Academy, and there are 3 articles from the Lancaster Eagle Gazette in the review packet, all from Jeff Barron. One titled Tiffany Henry says she is honored to be the first female to win the Brett Markwood Award. The second, Emily Portal, honored to receive Chamber of Commerce Young Professional Award for 2024. We are so proud of Bonnie's daughter, Emily. And the Chillicothe Transit System Director takes position with Lancaster Fairfield Public Transit. FEMA had a letter sent to us regarding a map change, and the auditor's newsletter for April titled Auditor's Ledger News from the County Auditor's Office was also. That's it.
Thank you, Rochelle. That's all, Commissioner.
Davis, any old business?
I really appreciated the regional meeting that we had with CCAO this past Friday. It was great to have representatives from so many different counties and organizations come to Fairfield County and hear a little bit more about what we're doing. I felt like the reception that we got from those folks to some of the information we presented was incredibly positive. And I just wanted to thank Ani and Bennett, Rochelle, and Jenny, and the team out at the Workforce Center. I thought it was a really, really wonderful morning. It was one of those meetings that I probably wouldn't have gone to had I not been strongly encouraged by staff to attend, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah. Commissioner Fix?
Yeah, just piggybacking on that. So the CCAO set up 5 different regions around the state. We're obviously in the central region. And so twice a year, one of the counties in that central region hosts all the other counties to kind of, talk up their county. I've been to 5 of these now. And, I might be a little biased, but I think that our presentation was the most content rich of all of those. Commissioners Davis and Levacy did really a great job with their presentations. Not only did a number of the county commissioners talk about, wow, we didn't know you had so much going on down here. Even some of our own local folks who attended weren't aware of all the different things that are going on. So anytime we get a chance to tell our story about the work that we're doing collectively, it's a great opportunity. And it was nice to be able to present to all of Central Ohio. And I know our team, when I volunteered us for this last year, probably wasn't really thrilled with the idea of having to put on a big event like that, but came through with shining colors. Everybody was really appreciative and got a lot of compliments. So thank you to our team.
Yeah. So with Commissioner Davis and Fix, and both of those gentlemen did a terrific job in it. Even though I know the whole story, I'm always interested to hear more. There's always additional information every time I hear the talk that I get from that. So appreciate you guys. How about some new business? Commissioner Fix.
I have no new business today.
Commissioner Davis.
I also want to express my condolences to Ray for your loss. And also congratulations, of course, to Emily and Tiffany for being recognized for wonderful things that both of you were doing for the community.
Yeah, we didn't mention Emily Cordell receiving such a prestigious award. Would her mother like to say anything?
Well, proud mom moment. Somebody confused me with her when they read the article yesterday, so that was great because, there's a few years difference there. I couldn't figure out why I was staying in front of the South Central Power truck.
Getting ready to climb a pole.
No, very, very happy to be, I'm just Emily's mom now, so that's fun.
Sheriff Lake, any additional thing you'd like to tell us about?
I don't have any late breaking news or anything like that. Continue to do our best to provide the best public safety service we can to the county residents. Can't do that stuff that really good. I'm in the sheriff's office, so my hat's off to them during this time. Police department. Just great.
So again, Tiffany, congratulations, and I'll be there Thursday night and listen to your speech. Congratulations. Jim?
Good morning. Last week I reached out to State Senator Tim Schaefer's office in support of Senate Bill 186. The reason that Senate Bill 186 is so important is that says if a property is tax delinquent, you can't transfer it. You can't lot split it. So it's going to really help prevent, or I should say, it'll really help the ongoing problem we have with delinquent taxes. The other thing is that if you are a delinquent taxpayer, you cannot buy a property out of tax foreclosure auctions from the sheriff's office. So that also, so it's really big. All the county treasurers are really involved in this, asking for the Senate's support to get out of committee, get on the floor and get it passed. So that's important. The other, next week is the county treasurers spring conference. The main focus on that conference is our continuing education. Also gives us an opportunity to talk to other county treasurers to see how things are going in their world. Thank you.
Josh, anything additional for Dave and Jason? Anything additional? Dr. Brown?
Congratulations again to Tiffany, to Emily, all the award winners with the chamber. It's very exciting. Highlighting the map of the month, I'd just like to point out one volunteer opportunity with the Missing in America group. That's Stephen Sisak with Reynoldsburg. He is the finance director in Reynoldsburg. He has come to our office and many others and is now focusing on some outreach in Licking County. But that particular group, they basically said to us, we need no money. We just need people to hear our story. As it rolls from soul to soul, they're able to actually find family members and those that know of remains from those that are not yet identified and that have paid the ultimate sacrifice in the military. So when they say that they need no money, they just need people to hear their story. We just wanted to help be a communication partner for them. A couple other volunteer opportunities this Saturday at the post office. If you just set out some non-perishable goods by your post office, by your post box, they will pick them up and donate them to food pantries. And I think that's just a wonderful thing for postal workers to do and so efficient. And also this Saturday is the cinema with Destination Downtown. I'm excited about volunteering for that. I want to say thanks to the sheriff, particularly for the walkthroughs they're doing at 108 North High. That has been a stepped up effort and it's been very helpful to staff. And we appreciate that time and effort. And also thinking about other emergency response plans. Two folks have recently been certified with CPR. They're Megan Bolin and Michelle Poston. And that particular effort was no charge to us because DD invited us into their training. So I want to say thank you to DD. Thanks to GIS for helping with Hunters Run Conservancy District and also the Rush Creek Conservancy District. They too are making some changes, not to the same level that Hunters Run Conservancy District is, but they have several reporting functions that they've connected with GIS about. with financial reporting, I just mentioned there are a lot of internal deadlines right now. Thank you to everybody around the table for meeting those deadlines. It's very helpful to us, and they're ramped up in the month of May. And real estate is doing quite well with the sexennial update on schedule for 25, which will be collections in 26. And thinking of realtors, a major stakeholder group for us, I'll mention because it might be something that's important to other folks to know. The Lancaster MLS has merged with Columbus MLS. So the Columbus and Central Ohio multiple listing service is now encompassing the Lancaster one, which is similar to some others, but I mentioned it now in case some folks don't know about that merger.
So it's kind of interesting. You mentioned Rush Creek Conservancy District. My brother-in-law was one of the engineers that helped design and build that. And, prior to that, Bremen used to have extensive flooding that mitigated most of that. So these conservancy districts are very vital to mitigate flooding. So again, Lindy, thank you for all your work. Tony.
3 real quick things. First, thanks to the real estate office. They helped commissioners actually. There's a part of Spring Creek subdivision that was not tax exempt, so they helped us get through that. That tax exempt the commissioner's office. Thanks to Sheriff Lee, we had a abandoned car on one of our properties. He tracked down where the lady was. She happened to be in the hospital. In fact, we got it moved on. So, and then the last thing, we had a Central Ohio regional water meeting with WARPC and Ohio EPA. So they're doing a lot of planning on their resources are and trying to connect that with developments. Sign in on that. They don't need anything from us as of yet, but they're working on various things.
So, water is one of the things we take for granted, but we're very fortunate in this area to have an abundance of water. Matter of fact, that's one of the main reasons Intel ended up here, is because of that very thing. Anthony?
Just that we have our apprenticeship graduation coming up at the Workforce Center next Friday, May 17th at 11:30. We have 82 students that will be graduating over a number of different trades, HVAC, carpentry, plumbing, number of others that I'm forgetting right off the top of my head. They have so many. Water and wastewater. Sorry, I forgot about that one, Tony. But yeah, so it's very exciting. The numbers were up this year. There's a lot of interest in the program. So Sean Cody from our office is here as well. She really runs the whole thing. Pretty cool, all that. So anything you would like to add?
We also have talking about June the 3rd, and we will be honoring our employers who are hiring our team on June the 6th. It's my day.
We seem to be a continued destination for large events, and special events. So we'll be hosting again this year, Luke Bryan farm tour in September at the same location. So the sheriff's office is diligent. Beside me, you can see the sheriff to me right now. It is a interesting event to prepare our response forces on someone else's time for that as well. And then just a friendly reminder on the facility side that the Record Center is beginning a paving project Wednesday. So that parking lot will be unavailable for the remainder of the week. Both doors still should be accessible to the building at any time. Just be care, approach the building if there's work.
So John, I understand there could be severe weather outbreak later today.
We are in an enhanced / marginal area, so we're actively watching that. It did produce tornadoes last night. Yeah, definitely a day to stay weather aware.
Definitely. And Corey?
We have our annual Family Fun Fest coming up May 23rd from 5 to 6:30 in our parking lot. That's just a fun event that's open to everybody, all the families. at no charge, food, crafts, activities, games, attractions, all kinds of things for families to enjoy. So we hope a lot of people come out to that.
Please rise if you're able and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Carol, any announcements?
Yes, as spoken about in the review meeting, regional planning received a call this morning, just before our meeting, from a contractor for the bid award that is on the resolution. It's resolution 2024-5.7.r. And that contractor had some concerns, so the resolution is being pulled for today.
Approval of minutes for April 30th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Levacy?
Yes.
Minutes passed 3-0. From the Commissioners, Resolution 2024-5.7.a, a resolution authorizing the approval of proclamations.
The Commissioners will move items A, B, C, and D.
Second. Discussion. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Levacy?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From the Fairfield County Engineer, Resolution 2024-5.7.e, a resolution to approve and adopt the Fairfield County, Ohio Road Design Manual for unincorporated areas of Fairfield County, Ohio. Final version effective April 23rd, 2024.
Under Fairfield County Engineer, I move items E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and O.
Second. Discussion.
So again, just want to thank the engineer's office for all the work that they've put into redesigning this manual as we're updating all the different aspects of development. It's a critical part of it. So thanks to you and your team.
Additional discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Levacy?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. For Fairfield County Job and Family Services, Resolution 2024-5.7.p, a resolution to approve a memo received for the cost of birth certificates paid to Fairfield County Health Departments as a memo expenditure for Fund 2072 Public Children's Services.
Fairfield County Job and Family Services, I move items P and Q.
Second. Discussion. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Levacy?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. For Fairfield County Sheriff, Resolution 2024-5.7.s, a resolution to appropriate from unappropriated in major expenditure object category for Sheriff's Office Fund 2027 weights.
For Fairfield County Sheriff, I move items S, T, U, and V.
Second. Discussion. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Levacy? Motion passes 3-0. Payment of bills, Resolution 2024-5.7.w, a resolution authorizing the approval of payment of invoices for departments that need Board of Commissioners approval.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Levacy?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. The next regular meeting is scheduled for May 14th at 1 p.m. at the Liberty Center.
Any additional item come before the Board of Commissioners at this time? For a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.